Is there?
Yes, there is.
Huh.
I'm just gonna load up, like a simple image to showcase this. This really would have helped me a hell of a lot more back in the day when I first
Hmm.
started.
I actually figured out something. Um, if you there's a number box, you know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah,
over
if
here
there's
with
a
the
number
217,
box,
you
you
can
can
actually
eat.
type the
Yeah,
number.
you can actually go into the number box. Like say, good example here. I can go ahead and show this. This will be easy. So
Just hit, yeah,
like if I go here, I hit my good old space bar.
yeah. You can
Even
type
though
the
it's
number
not
in.
translated, you can just easily type in the number.
Exactly.
That way, if you're like having to mess with variables, high numbers and stuff, you're having to put it into like every character's hit junction. You can easily just go to it and just
Exactly.
hit the space bar and type it in. And then
Yep.
hit your
That's a
Z
lot easier.
key and then do it again, hit your Z key, do it again.
If that's the key that you
Yeah,
have
if
set
that
up.
is the key you have set to, which is character
Page
down.
down.
Character
Yeah.
down. And you got your stage up, demo up, same thing.
Yep.
Only problem is I kind of wish, we would have these settings like we would in this window, because like you can easily just go scroll through it with, whatever keys you have set up and, going up and down and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I have mine set to E and R go left and right in the skill.
Yeah.
F and T go down and up from one skill to the other.
Yeah, I actually have mine set to up being T, G being down, F being left, and H being right. I usually play when I'm playing the game. I'm using up as O, down as L, K as in left, and semicolon as my right.
Okay.
I was using that setup, that way I can easily transcend from editing to test play. But then I figured out something with these keys, uh, and it kind of conflicted, but this is like probably the most needed out of all the stuff we do have in this editor. This Sauce Blast isn't all that great. I'm just showing this. All you got to do is just sit there and highlight this, and lo and behold, O and P is for new. As it says,
Huh.
you know.
That saves a lot of time.
So like if I want to add this image, I just hit my and it adds it in there.
Wow.
And,
I've been doing this for a long time and I didn't even know
and if I hit
that.
my, if you hit the O key, it adds another one. And if you hit P, it replaces it.
Oh, okay. Very nice. I will definitely be taking advantage of those
And since I
hotkeys.
don't want those images, I just click that and it will delete them from the file.
Save some file
Yeah,
size.
save some file size. It's really required. So like, that's another thing I like to mention too. If your game starts to wig out, or if your like character file seems to crash on you, chances are it's got some corrupted images. The best thing to do is to go in and delete them.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I realized back in the day too. Now I'm not having that problem, because usually I'd go to like an image and I'd click on it. So like if I were to click on an image right here and it glitches up, it would actually just completely close the editor altogether. I'm gonna jump on chat here. Don't know if we got anybody in here.
Well, I think we might. I don't know if they're up. I think they. I don't know if it registers if it's not logged in members of
Oh,
Twitch TV.
okay.
But I
If you're
think
not
we might
logged
have.
in, guys, you need to get an account and join us in the chat.
Yeah, there's a live chat, guys. We can help you out with anything, but you can't ask questions or anything until you're logged in. So got to do it. Plus, you can subscribe to the channel, and it'll email you every time it goes live, so that you won't have to like check FMHQ all the time to see if we're doing a live broadcast.
Alright, I'm in chat. So all y'all gotta do is just post some questions and we can easily get to them. Just to let y'all know, the live stream is on a 6-second delay. Me and Charles here, we actually are real time. So if you want to be able to, have a question, you got to get it out there really quickly. That way we can see it, and then I can iterate on it, or Charles can iterate on
it. Either way.
All right.
Looks like we got 4 people, counting us.
Let's see. Technically, I don't know if it's counting me as I am on stream, but I don't know if it is or not. It probably is.
It says you're on as the moderator.
All right.
So.
Okay, so it is showing me in there. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so far we are entertaining one person tonight.
That's better than the last time.
Let's see. I try to do this when all of our members are out of school, because I know most of our members are still in high school.
Right. Exactly.
So, I want to, do this on a Friday night, because I know most people, when they get out of school on a Friday night, they're going to really, want to go out and do stuff, with their friends or whatnot. But I know back in the day when I was a kid on a Friday night, there was times I couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
So why not, come join us and.
Hey, it's our good friend Naruto98.
Welcome to the stream. You want to see any combos, or want to see how something is made in the game, I can easily show you.
Definitely a good opportunity to ask. That is for sure.
Most people would say, "Oh my God, he's doing a super and a super." Yeah, I got some pretty heavy damage scaling in the game, which will probably end up going up even more now, since you can do all these crazy combos.
Yeah, well, and there's some characters that combo better than others, so
yeah,
it's all got to be
some
watered down.
Some characters are actually a lot better on the ground than they are in the air. Consider, Sub-Zero, when the old system was around, Sub-Zero really didn't have a whole lot he could do.
With the prototype.
Well, yeah, the prototype
Capcom style.
Prototype version of this had a lot of stuff you could do. You could actually.
How's it going, Jin?
You could actually be. Be, up against the wall, and just sit there and bounce them off the wall with Sub-Zero. Over and over again.
I remember he had almost like a maximum spider super.
Well, that
back in the day. I mean, that was a long time ago. But
well, I mean, Scorpion still has it. I mean, technically, that's what it is. It's like Maximum Scorpion.
Yeah, there we go.
Maximum Scorpion. That super was like. I was just sitting, at work. This was back when I was working security, and I could, bring the laptop, work on the game there. And I would just sit there, hours on end, but in between, me having to go out and look around at the place and make sure nobody broke in. I'd just sit there, it's like, what would be awesome? And I'd be like, oh yeah, that would, Because, like, I was trying to tailor the game more towards, Marvel versus Capcom.
Right. Exactly.
But now I'm wanting to tailor the game to its own system, where it's a combination of maybe Street Fighter Cross Tekken the way it's set up now. But yeah, like I said, if you got any questions, guys, you can easily ask them in the chat. We will get to them. It's like, this game in general, or any other game, even your own project. If like there's something in this project that you like to add to your game, you can easily do it. I don't mind. All my stuff's open source.
There we go. Maybe we need to set up a way to have people send files that they want to have you look at live.
Oh yeah, that would also be another thing I could do. I could also show you guys that. I can easily set that up. Best thing to do is to go grab a program called Dropbox.
Oh, there you go.
Dropbox will actually enable you to set a file into your public folder and easily send a link. All I had to do is just click the link and I can instantly download the file. No sense in uploading because it's already uploaded.
We got a question in the chat here. How did you guys stay motivated to make a fighting game or a game in general?
Yeah, it's just, see, like, I've been making these games for a while. Back in, what was it, like 02, 01?
Something like
but,
that.
But close to
right
the end of 2001, this is when we actually got the engine and had it programmed. Or not programmed, but translated by me and Enrique, also known as Pre-58.
He might be here later.
Oh yeah, he might join us here pretty soon. He was on his way home. But when it comes to that, see, when I was making games with Omega a lot. Mega would come to me and he'd be like, "Oh, let's do this," and we would start working on it. And that's how we, I had all these, massive games under my belt.
Dragon Ball Hyper Fighting.
Oh yeah, Dragon Ball Hyper Fighting.
Mortal Kombat Vendetta.
Oh yeah, Ultra, Mortal Kombat Vendetta. The first version, I remember that very well. That was back when, we was just starting. It was pretty horrible, I had to say. It was pretty horrible, You just got to, get familiar with the engine, get familiar with what's right to do and what's not right to do.
I still remember cleaning the sprites for that game.
Oh yeah, that was horrible. That was back when we did not realize we could easily just hack the game and take away the background and stuff like that. Yeah, if that's another thing, when you're working with, Fighter Maker and stuff like that, and you're wanting, specific sprites from a game, and you can't disable the background, you're going to have to learn how to use, art money and hack in the actual game itself to remove those backgrounds.
It's actually not very hard to do. It's just tedious.
Yeah, you just got to find where the timer is, and you can easily find where everything else is.
Exactly.
But when it comes to making games, making them alone, it's not fun. It's best to have somebody else with you, that can help you with stuff. Like, when this game first started out, it was Omega helping me work on it. He was working on, the Street Fighter characters as I was working on the Mortal Kombat. And pretty much it got to a point to where we couldn't, work well together because of conflicting schedules and stuff, because since he lives all the way in Turkey, when he's awake, I'm sleeping, and when I'm sleeping, he's awake, so it's kind of hard to, do that. So if you're wanting to make a game and keep at the game, it's best to make sure your partner, is either in the same country or time zone.
That would help, definitely. Otherwise, start using Dropbox.
Yeah, start using Dropbox. Dropbox is pretty much what people use, if they're a developer or something like that. They're a part of a development team. A lot of the Android community uses it to, help.
They definitely do.
Help seek between files, so like you can easily, say for example, if I'm working on my laptop on this, I can easily, go in and set it up to where oh, I want to work on my laptop today and work on my game on location. And when as soon as I get home, all I gotta do is just jump on my desktop, and my files are still synced up. So it's pretty much an instant sync no matter where you are.
Right. And I mean, that's where the cloud, quote unquote, comes in handy.
Oh yeah, see, like that's another thing I'd like to mention too. It would be awesome if we could just like say, for example, just take the whole folder, of a project if you're working on with a partner, and just throw it on the cloud, and if you could actually just load up the KGT file from the cloud.
Yeah,
See,
that'd be handy.
that would be awesome in my opinion. I mean, there would be latency involved, but still.
Right, exactly. But it would still be faster than having to go to MediaFire or
Yeah, it's a lot faster than doing that. Cause like this morning I was actually messing around with that, and I was like, wow, this is a neat program. We need to start recommending it. But like as of right now, what I figured out I'm needing to do is I'm needing to set up a condition branch to when the super background's enabled. That way, if a super is off, you can still be damaged on it from this hit junction. I noticed too that on certain characters that don't have this set up, say for example Liu Kang here, and get Sagat. He's the current character I'm working on to get the new system in. So like for example,
this is going to take a little bit of balancing.
Say for example, I will go in, and I could actually sit there and continuously do Tiger Cannon in the corner, and it will hit me. But like I think with him, say I was thinking I already had it set up, but he don't. Oh right, it's wrong hit junction. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I actually have it set up on him, I believe. Yeah, see. So like if he does not have these, this is like makes a very conflicting situation. Making people rage quit, you could say. So man, stop doing that, It's like I could sit here in the corner and just continuously, hit them.
Professional gaming in a nutshell.
Yeah, pretty much. So you pretty much have to add balance to any game, you're making. I mean, you don't want to end up, not having, balance to your game. So I actually, at a certain point in time, was thinking about adding, a combo breaker. But then I realized, no, that it'd take away from some of the game. So I'm just going to add, more damage scaling to the game.
Anybody else have any questions out there? I'm only seeing that one. That was. We're here to answer questions.
Yeah, indeed. So I pretty much am wanting to get like a hit wall here, and just take this, make it a doing, and all I want to do is just skip over that. Because FM second is pretty much, if you're using, like back in the day, like I did, was making, animated GIF files. Basically, all this, that's all the program is. It's just like you would say like an image editor, like a GIF editor, but more to it to enable you to make an actual fighting game out of it.
Naruto is saying balance is hard to add. I don't know. It can be.
It can be at
sometimes.
Times. You just got to know what you're doing.
Exactly. It depends on what kind of feel you're going for in the actual fight. Because, and like this right here, you have to balance that, or it's unstoppable.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because see, like, reason why, I mean, that's a level 2 right now. Reason why I don't have level 3s in the game is due to the fact that if you got a full bar, you're getting pummeled. You can easily, pull off you know, your own level 3. Pretty much making your own level 3 combo. So like, if I wanted to, I could just be like, do this. Oh well, wrong super. So I actually want to do the low tiger cannon into the high. It is possible, I just need to be closer. Like, you can actually do that 3 times in a row. I do remember when the older videos of the game were up on my YouTube, people were actually trying to say that my Sagat was a mod. Most of these people are from Yugi. So if you have people coming on your videos and, you know, commenting on your characters and stuff like that, you need to tell them this is an actual game I'm working on. This is not some character I like took and edited.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing I don't necessarily like about that whole engine
Oh yeah, I mean,
is it's not really geared toward gaming or making a full game. It's more make a character, grab a character off the internet, stick it in here, and it's gonna work.
yeah, exactly.
Um, I don't like that, but that's I mean, if I'd been using it for years like I have Fighter Maker, I'm sure it would be different. But
Yeah, I'm sure it would be too for me. At a certain point in time, back in back before Fighter Maker second come out, I was working with Fighter Maker 95.
yeah, see, so was I, and I hated that one.
Yeah, I hated it too, but like pretty much what it all amounted to was like I wanted to be able to click a button and load up my game.
Yeah, exactly.
With Mugen, I wouldn't be able to do that. Because, like, back then, that was back when it was just strictly DOS based, and I wanted something that would run in Windows, right off of Windows.
Well, and that was the other thing is that whole thing was a mod.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
The,
all it
the whole
was.
engine. You get you get the you get the main program, and you get a character that's already preloaded and a stage that's already preloaded, and then you change that.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
mod.
pretty much all you do. Because, see, with this is just, you load it up and it's blank. You gotta
Exactly.
start from scratch.
Start from scratch.
Yeah. That's another thing, back, in the community, a few years back, we did have somebody come in and, they were trying to steal, people's characters from games and try to throw them in their own game.
Yep,
Yeah.
I remember that.
That's an uber failure because you can't just like say for example, some random person
Load,
that just
load one of my
joined.
Bleach characters in there and see if it works.
Yeah. Pretty much. Basically, you can't just like take a character from any game and throw it together because it all amounts to what's in this.
The hit junctions list.
Yeah, and what's in this pretty much. So like this game, it's got a ton of them due to the fact it's got fatalities and stuff like that. There is a few things I have been working on. I do plan on adding stage fatalities soon. Maybe by the time I release the next version, but I'm not making any promises. But like there will probably be at least 2 or 3. I'm hoping, because like as of right now, if you're wanting to finish him, it's just 1 fatality per character. Because like it's very tedious to make those. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Because like
And most games are not going to have that many hit junctions.
oh no,
It's just, I mean, this is mostly geared towards the fatalities and the finishing stage finishers and all that other stuff.
oh yeah,
It all has to be done a certain way, and the easiest way to do it is with hit junctions.
yeah.
That's why there's so many in this game.
I can pretty much go off and show an old project too of what I was wanting to do back in the day was like a wrestling game. And this game would have ended up having a ton of stuff.
Oh
if
yeah.
you can see. Because, like, there was a lot of things I had to do to, like, get the grappling system working right and stuff like that. Pretty much I was going to be geared more towards the Fire Pro style wrestling games. Since they
Right.
were more 2D, they were more 2D based and stuff like that. And when you would walk up to them, it would initialize a grapple. Then you could hit a certain button, it'll do a move. And at the same time, your opponent could do the same thing. And it was
Kind of like rock, paper, scissors.
yeah, it's pretty much rock paper scissors. And if you did like a more powerful move, it will get automatically countered. And I set up all that too. And that project wouldn't have lasted too long. Because it was gonna have a lot going for it. Because like the plan was to get one character set up, and then with like, get this PlayStation ISO, load up Fire Pro G, and make a edit, and then I'd send me a memory card file, and I'd rip it from the game. But pretty much this will probably end up being my last project, is what I'm thinking. Cause like I'm just gonna be constantly working on this. So this is pretty much why I want to do live stuff now. This is pretty much why I want to do stuff live, because I really don't have a whole lot of time to make tutorials and stuff like that. So when I'm actually working on the game, I might as well add a few people to watch and see me do it in real time. That way I can actually show what works and what doesn't work, and what the best way to do it. So pretty much what I gotta do right now is I need to go down to Scorpion and go to his second hit junction, or the same hit junction, and get up this set up right. That way, if he hits the wall, he's pretty much set up to where he can actually get hit. Because like, if you're like just like flying across the screen during a super, this isn't even gonna hit if it's
Right.
got a strike frame. So I gotta pretty much set it up to where it will hit inside super. So let's see. Okay, this right here needs to be changed, is what it is. Because like as he's at the peak of his fall, that's where he's at. So pretty much he can't be hit. So I'm gonna make it to where it's just one. Be a lot easier. And then pretty much just copy that and just make it a doing. Now I'll just go ahead and just copy this SG since it's already in there. All I gotta do is just point it to there. Point it back to where that FD is. And then just easily set up this to where it's pointing to that. Now Scorpion can actually be hit in the super. There we go. That's set up. Now I got to do it again. So see, it's pretty tedious. You have to set that up and do these things over and over again. But the only reason why I'm doing this is because this is the best way to balance a game, is through your hit junctions. Pretty much, when I started adding in this new combo system, I realized, some things just don't seem right. It's going to seem cheap. And so I had to, go in and set up some, gravity degradation. That way, at a certain point in time in a combo, the gravity, doesn't go up as high. And they'll end up falling to the ground and, killing a combo. Pretty much, in this hit junction, the way I got it set up is, if it's above 10 hits, it's gonna go there. Pretty much adding, 20 to the gravity.
See, and plus the point 80 is usually what I use standard for most of my
Yeah,
stuff.
point 80 is pretty standard, but like 60 is, best for juggles.
Right.
From what I've learned. I don't
I
know.
think in my tutorial files, I've got some of them set to like point 4 or point 3,
Yeah,
just for the sake of going up higher in the air without going too fast.
I do recall someone did back in the day ask me, what's the best for jumps This is what I'm actually using right now. This is pretty much a pretty good distance on a jump, but like back jump is about the same. Like jump up in the air, just a straight jump up. It's just, the same without, any movement. But like you could pretty much, set it up to what you like. I mean, the way I like my jumps in this game is to where they're, way above the life bar, or at least touching the life bar.
Yeah, exactly.
But like in the past, I have, I have looked at, Japanese coding and see what they do. I have noticed, in some of their jump attacks, they actually have their jump attacks like right here, touching the bottom line. But
Yeah, but those guys are crazy.
yeah,
So
they're nuts. Because like that would also mean in their jumps that they don't set up any y axis at all. They just pretty much keep them right here on this line. But like that's also another neat trick of what you can do about say like if you're wanting like a blank image without going into bitmap window and just doing this and then clicking that again. You can easily just set up any image and just make it like that.
oh wow, there you go. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Save image slots.
yeah, save an
Sure,
image
sure.
slot. Cause like I do believe if you have too much, it's gonna make your character file pretty huge.
And it'll make your select screen
Oh
lag.
yeah, he'll make it lag. Cause like every time you go to a character, it's gotta load that character up completely.
Exactly. Which is why the I don't know if anybody still has it, but the favorite fighters 2.5, the select screen on that would start lagging out
Oh yeah, definitely. That was back
just
when we was
because of that.
actually using Molebox.
Yeah,
Molebox would not pre-catch the characters, but like if you're not running through Molebox, you would if you loaded up a character and then went back to the previous character, it would load up instantly. But like the main reason why most of the games you would see are just one exe, it's due to the fact of people trying to theft and stuff like that, try to steal
yeah,
games and stuff like that. I actually seen a comment on the damn Facebook one day asking, how do you rip sprites from Fire Maker? Because I just want to rip from Terradrome, and I was like, no, we don't do that here. We're not Mugian. We don't do that here. We don't steal from other people. And I guess the guy was just like, oh crap, I don't need to ask that. I mean, but back when Vanguard Princess came out, that was actually someone actually created a sprite ripper for our
yeah.
for Fighter
I
Maker
remember.
Second, and it only works if the character's compiled. So that pretty much tells you one thing, you know. Oh, people
Yep.
are gonna rip off from other creators now. That's
Sad stuff. Sad
that's the
stuff.
one thing I don't like is how people will just go in and try to steal your stuff. I mean, that's the one reason why I really don't like Mugen all that much is because people just want to easily just come in and steal your, whatever you make. Uh, Mega was actually a contributor of the community at one point in time. I don't know if he still is or not, but he told me that he was working on one character and somebody stole his edit and started making another edit from that, and that caused a big problem.
I can't imagine why.
I mean, edits are one thing. I mean, I actually, can make a few edits, but the way I make edits is just, a single frame. So, like, good example is like with Sub Zero or any of the ninjas in the game. I actually created, an actual third kick for them, and it looks a lot different, than what you would see in the actual game. This kick looks more tailored towards, how it looked like in Mortal Kombat 2. And
Yeah, yeah, the jump kick.
hmm someone actually, in the Mugen community did make an actual frame out of those to make them look like, they were from Mortal Kombat 3. Uh, but like back when they were working on MK Mugen with their original sprites and stuff like that. I actually messaged the guy and asked whether or not I can use some of the sprites, and he actually told me, yeah, go right ahead.
I remember about I would say 6 or 7 years ago, I wanted to make one of the evil Ken
Oh
characters
yeah,
that I've seen
yeah.
in there.
Home.
And I went and I asked the guy that made it, and he told me that I could use any of the standard sprites
Yeah,
in the character, but none of the edits.
yeah,
So I gave up right then and there. I didn't want to use it without his permission.
yeah. Cause like, what's sad about that is like that guy actually got killed in a boating accident, and it's sad to know because those characters were actually very awesome.
Yeah.
And I believe it's also the same guy that was. I'm not too sure if it was or not, but I do remember one guy within the GameFAQs community. If you ever go over to GameFAQs.com, he there was a guy that actually worked on making fighting game tutorials, or not tutorials, but FAQs on moves and stuff like that. I believe he actually passed away too,
Oh wow.
and got killed too. But his tutorials are always going to be there, and whenever I look at it, it's like, well, I'm looking at a dead guy's tutorial, but at least it's good. uh, he left his mark on the world, and he's still got stuff here that people can view.
Somebody just called it troll facts.
Oh, Trollfax. Oh yeah, pretty much. That's what it is. Yeah, I hate that site too. By the way, I don't really go on there.
It's good for knowing when games are coming
Yeah,
out
it's
though.
good to know when games are coming out because I usually go on there and get my news too. I usually go to Max Console and get news because everybody pulls from every source imaginable there, and you can look at anything. So we're here on Gaul, and we're gonna set this up for him. That way he can get hit during the super. So pretty much do this. I need to make it to where this one M number disappears. Or do this. Okay, there we go. Now we just got one doing or strike frame here. Go grab my system variable C. Just come on, scroll on down. Yeah. This does get pretty tedious. This is the one thing about Fighter Maker Second. I don't think a lot of people like is how tedious it can be, but
It's a lot of copy paste
yeah,
and
it's
point.
a lot of copy and pasting and stuff like that. All right, so we got this set up. All we gotta do is just change this to doing and a strike. Have it skip over that. Don't really need that. Go and there we go. Got all this set up. Yeah, always make sure you save after you change something, because that's another issue. It's another issue that was mentioned back when we first got the program, that the editor does have a lot of bugs to it, and
It
back at,
crash on you for
yeah, it will
random reasons.
crash on you randomly. It will actually end up closing on you and stuff like that. I do remember back in the day having a lot of stuff done and then having this crash happen, and then I'm like reset like 3 days back. That's how bad it was. It was like 3 days of work done in like 3 hours.
Uh, and it's not just the crashes. I mean, you can actually end up doing something to where you have everything the way you like it, and then you go and you start doing something else to
Oh yeah.
try and do a new system, and you mess everything else up.
Oh yeah.
And because you haven't saved, everything else goes away when you have to close it because you can't really undo it.
Yeah. There's no undo feature, so the best thing to do is like if you're just wanting to like load it up and like play around with something, just mess around with it, see if you can't get it working, and if you can't, just close it out and just go back to normal. That's what I usually do if I'm wanting to add in something brand new, cause like I don't want to end up having something there and then it doesn't work and then it's still there, but it's like on top of like something important, like a hit junction
Exactly.
or something like that. Basically back when I was starting to work on the super armor, I was working on it a while back, and then I did figure out that the best way to get it working is I'd have to set it up to where it's tailored to my projectables, because that's the one thing about it is this this engine does have its kinks and its bugs, but like at one point in time, we actually believed always needed a doing frame around our structs. Even if there's any attack frame, a doing frame needs to be there.
I
But
still put it there.
yeah, I still put it there too. But like, you don't really need it unless if you have offset checked. You know, this would only be needed if like if you actually needed it to where you want an actual thing to happen if two attacks were to hit, like like a clash, or like a
Right. Yeah,
sword
exactly.
clash or whatever, like in Samurai Showdown, where like most of the that game doesn't really have a whole lot of projectables. I noticed, but like it does have some. But
Yeah,
like
certain
I believe
characters.
their system, they actually have it to where they can turn that off and on the fly.
Hmm.
So like that's another thing I wish we had, was ways to turn that stuff off and on. But let's see, we're on Ken. Let's go to this again. Yeah, I hope I'm not boring the one guy we got in here, or two guys. I'm not really too sure. Uh,
Let's see who's here. Jin and Naruto.
okay,
So they've been here since the beginning.
all
So I'm hoping they don't have any more questions since they're not asking them.
right. Yeah, don't be shy, guys. We're here to help.
Especially if you don't understand how something is set up in here.
Yeah, especially
Because
that.
I mean, it's right there. He could explain it right there.
I'm confusing myself here. It's like I was setting up, a wall hit. Well, like, that's another thing I noticed. Like the pushback up against the wall. That's like the probably one of the most biggest challenges to fix in this engine. Uh,
Well, and keeping
yeah,
balance.
and keeping balance at the same time, because go ahead and show this. Because like beforehand, if I were to do this, it would cause some pushback. And if you notice, when I hit him again, I can't do it again because there's more recovery at the end of it. If I
Right.
go into his uppercut, I'll show you how that is set up. or crouch and punch 3. And it's got the dash cancel here and stuff like that. But
Just adds a variable.
yeah, I just set up a variable on a combo hit to where if it's above 2, it's gonna go off over here. And see, there's more recovery here than here. This is set to 20. This is 40. So like, during a combo, if you add this in, if it is above 3, the only thing to do is cancel into a special move. Uh, some
Yeah, see, I never would have thought of that.
yeah, some characters actually will be able to cancel into super after this. I don't know if I'm going to set it up to everybody. That way, most characters in the game are diverse. Looks like we might have Pre 58 joining us very soon.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
He just got on.
just popped on the Skype.
Let's see if I can get him in here.
Just like send him a message and tell him that if he wants to be in real time and see what I'm doing, he'll need to get team view and send in the meeting ID.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, because like if you're gonna be chatting on stream, you're gonna need to be able to see what I'm doing in real time.
He is in the.
Yo,
There you are.
there we go.
Welcome. We are live with Pre 58.
Here we go. Send me a link to the stream.
Oh yeah, it's the same link, but like we got something better for like if we're on live. You'll need to get a TeamViewer 7 and join us in the meeting. That way, live chat can actually have a real time view of what I'm doing.
We've actually got another question here in the chat. What's with all the variables?
What's with all the variables? Well, let's see here. Most of these are set up to like disable some things. Like say for example, this character variable this is set up for when Scorpion throws a spear, and if it doesn't connect or if it gets hit, it disappears. It vanishes. If it's on screen, it shouldn't be there no more once it gets hit. Same for this. This character variable C sets up the the fire or the flame hits and stuff like that. That way, if it's set to 0, I believe is what it's set up. Yeah. So like if it's above 1, it will set it up and stuff like that and make flame object pop up on them. That way, I'm not just having one hit junction for fire and all that. I'm having every single hit junction can become a flame hit. That way, it makes the game feel more diverse and different. That way, I'm not just you're not seeing the same animation whenever you get caught on fire. And then pretty much, you're gonna be seeing a lot of variables in this, especially for the lose. This way, whenever, the round ends, it will actually, do the hit junction of the final attack. Not every hit junction is in the lose variable skill, but I could add it in, later on, close to final release. Because I'm going to probably be working on this for a long time to, get it working right. I mean, I have been working on this game for a long time already. It's getting close to, I don't know. I really lost the date I actually started working on this. I probably have old files I could go back, from beta 1 and actually see when they were last saved. Let's see. Got on, let's see, Ken set up. We had to get Ryu set up. So you guys can easily, ask any questions. As always, you can even, if you want to see a certain character's combos, I can easily set that up for you too.
Proof is working on getting TeamViewer right now, so
All right.
you should be watching live momentarily.
Yeah. They can hear me though, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Can they hear me?
Yeah.
They should be able to.
If they can hear Charles, they should be able to hear you.
Yeah. Okay, so my idea says I'm gonna just send it to you.
Yeah, just like sending the meeting.
Oh, ask it.
Yeah, sending the meeting ID.
Yeah, let me copy it real quick for you.
Let's go to the meeting and then put the meeting ID in, and you should be able to see what I'm doing.
Yep, should pop right up.
Got you. Oh, got it.
Make sure you mute your mic and your speaker thing in TeamViewer. Otherwise, it's gonna go crazy on you.
Got you. And join meeting.
There you go. You are in the meeting now. You're now seeing what I'm doing in real time. This way, in real time, since we are live in the chat, and speaking, you can easily see what I'm doing. Plus, our viewers on Twitch here. So now, Ryu can be hit inside, his sent back WK while he's in a super now, or having a super done to him.
Keep asking questions.
So you want me to watch it in the?
Yeah, watch it in TeamView. You can easily just go to the stream and pause the stream and just be in chat.
Okay, got you. Boom. I was gonna tell you, Acid.
Yeah.
Next time? Oh, Charles, you there, right?
Yes.
Oh, let me tell you this story.
All right.
I'm here and I'm like chilling and stuff, and all of a sudden I get a text. Oh, yeah, TeamView, whatever. I'm like, oh, cool. And we streaming tonight. I asked Acid what time. Now. I'll go now. I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like very far away, from my house. How am I supposed to make it now?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter, if you join us live or you come on later on,
We got a question in the chat here. How do I make attacks that track/home in on an opponent?
Homing attacks. Okay, I actually have this set up in an older game. I could actually load this up right now and show you. I set this up for like Sector's homing missile.
There we
back
go.
in Ultra Mortal Kombat Vendetta. Let's see here. Let's go to Sector here. This is gonna be a lot of stuff, by the way, guys. All right. Here's this homing missile right here. I actually had objects set up. Like if I play it, you see how I have that set up to where it's an actual 8-way dimension. That way, if any of these get hit, it's gonna change the direction of the missile. That way, if it goes up, it'll go up, down, left, right. But the only problem with this is I can actually, show this in a live test play. Let's see. Let's go to the top character, Liu Kang here. He should have a lot of stuff done right. I'll just go to Johnny Cage. I believe I was messing around with him too much, trying to get him set up differently. So I was, in the process of doing this. Let's see. Find a command here. Get set up to Mortal Kombat style commands. Yeah, I didn't mess around with this in forever. Yeah, okay, there it is.
Seems like it works pretty well to me.
I think it's going all over the place actually.
Yeah, it kind of goes
So like I can,
whichever
It
direction
goes
they're
up,
walking.
man.
so like if I get in close to him, so I actually track him. But the only problem is, let's see if I can get this set up. If you notice that when I tried to jump again, I was not. So like, you see how that was pretty much doing that. He was sitting there getting attacked on the opposite direction. There was one way I actually set this up to where it would be better, to where it's not detecting a doing frame, but another attack frame. That way it's not constantly attacking him. The best way to go about doing this, I didn't set this up in this game. I just recently started doing that with this. So like if you go and set up a actual attack frame below their feet, it's like I actually have this set up here. I don't know if I can, half size it and you can actually see. Yeah, see. As you can see, this is like way below the ground. This is how I'm like easily being able to detect where another character is on screen. That way I can easily, do teleports without using an attack hit. So I can use an offset. Good example is with Raiden here. I know I set this up for him.
So you always end up behind them.
Yeah. That way, if they're in the air, you're going to hit them no matter what, because this attack frame's like at their feet. And it's all the way down.
Right.
And, it's set up to, hit the wall and offset. That way, as you can see in half size mode, it's like falling across the ground, and it will easily hit that, what's below their feet. And that's another thing I noticed, back when I added super armor to a few characters. A good example is Reptile. When I was messing around one day and seeing that, if their feet, or like if they're in the air, they're pretty much in the air, what will end up happening is I would run across them and then it would kill the armor. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, oh, it's hitting the attack frame at their feet. And so I had to go in and lower it. That way, if you're in the game, you're not going to see that anymore when you have, F1 pressed. It's like, now, you can't even see it at below them. It's like, used to, if I were to do that, it'd be like break the armor. Let's see.
My bad, I was registered.
It's like we're still entertaining one person, or we're entertaining none. We did have about 5 people or 6 people in here earlier.
Well, I've got it.
Oh, yeah.
I've got the stream paused. It looks to me like we still have everybody
Okay.
from my.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you click the viewer list,
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It could be just not telling the truth, but
Roll call.
Yeah, roll call. Who's all here?
So what's you been doing while I was not here?
We pretty much been talking, answering questions that have been popped up in the chat. Haven't really got a whole lot of questions asked, except for, how, about games and all that. one question come from Naruto asking,
He's the only one that's been asking
yeah, he's the
questions
only
at
one
all.
that's been actually asking anything tonight about, being, diligent and continuously working on something, not losing faith in it. Uh, that's the one thing, when it comes to these. There's been so many projects that ended up being canceled due to that. Uh, like going to the work in progress, forum and seeing all these abandoned projects. You can go all
Yeah,
the way back to page one and see a project that just never got finished.
90% of mine.
Yeah, yeah, I have to agree.
That's crazy, man. The thing is, like, for me, like, why I stopped is basically like real life stuff.
Oh
I don't got
yeah,
time
yeah.
for
Life
on my
can get
computer.
you, man.
Like,
Cause
That's
that's
usually what ends up
that's what was going
happening.
on with me last summer too. Cause life was getting to me pretty bad, and I really didn't have a whole lot of time except at work, which is kind of sad. Back when I was working at the security job, but like now, now I'm actually, I can only work on it when I'm at home, and then sometimes home's not all that a good place to be. That's why I'm glad I got my laptop going now. Now that I can just like pack up my laptop, head to the fucking park if I wanted to. But anyway, pretty much.
funny because I can't work outside.
You can't.
Like like Spider-Man. No, because
I
a lot of
can't
people talk
either.
to me one day.
Too many distractions.
Well, I mean, in my area,
Exactly.
it's not all that bad. We actually have a nice community over here. I can just, nobody's gonna like just walk up to me and like try to fuck with me, steal my laptop or something.
Oh no. Not worried about that. I'm worried like people will like be like, "What you doing?" And then I have to stop and explain.
Oh
Nah, like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I could easily, go to the mall and go to the coffee shop that's in the mall, and they got free Wi-Fi and stuff like that. I could go there,
Yeah, see, the nearest mall to me is about 60 miles.
but
oh man, like here
Does
around
have
where I
some.
live, like, they got Wi-Fi everywhere.
oh yeah,
I go to McDonald's and they have
yeah. You
free
can go.
Wi-Fi.
McDonald's have Wi-Fi. You can pretty
Yeah, I don't
much go
know.
to a
I
lot
don't
of
know if
places.
I don't know if many of the places here in town have free Wi-Fi. I think McDonald's might, but I don't know about any of the other ones.
Yeah, that's what it actually says on any bag. Wi-Fi participating locations.
Hmm.
I remember at one point in time they actually had it up to where you could play N64.
Hey, we got another
Oh wow.
question. This time
I
it's
could
from
explain that
Gene.
one.
Um, what's an easy way to do
Can I
reflecting
give that one a go?
skills?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Can I
You can
go at
take
that
that
one?
one. I mean, I know how
Okay.
to I know how to do that. It's
I've come up with
He says
several
the
different
easiest
ways
way.
to do
yeah.
it.
There's many different ways you can make a reflect
Yeah.
skill.
The thing is, let me try to explain it to him
All right.
if you can listen to me. The easiest way to do it is basically like, okay, what was that character in Cat Conversation K2 that he had like always his hand in his pocket that he pulls
Uh,
a big ass knife? No, not Rugo.
oh no, Yamazaki, I think.
Yamazaki, exactly. Like you see him, like when he reflects your, let's say a Duke, it doesn't really reflect the Duke. He just like picks it up and throws a red fireball
Yeah.
at you. That to me will be the easiest way to do it. Cause the thing is like when you're creating a game, it's okay. Cause like you could put the Duke in his in like in Yamasaki's like if it's Rugal and he does the reflector, he actually returns the Duke.
Yeah.
So you have to put the Duke in that in Rugal's skill list.
Yeah.
Not
This is the thing,
necessarily.
cause
There's I found
no,
another way to do it.
Oh, really?
you mean like there's a other way that I
You,
was thinking, but he's saying the easiest one. You know,
Yeah.
well, yeah, it would be
like,
easiest just
you're
to
right.
put it in there.
What I think you're saying in reels, like just put like reflective, Duke that is reflective, and put like an empty image and the hitbox there and boom, right? That's the one you say?
Right. I would. What I was gonna do is use a system variable to tell Rugal which one got fired. When he reflects it,
Exactly.
he sends a blank object back at the same speed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
my way.
Blank
But
God.
that's
Exactly. To me, the easiest way would be like Yamasaki, that he like it's just like a red fireball that he like, picks up and then throws a red fireball. The easiest way, basically, with the like, if you could show him after, since you're the only one that like
I mean,
Put it.
if I was gonna show him, I would have to, set it up myself because I don't really got it set up. The only way I'd be to, actually show is if I was gonna go in, to say, Ultra Mortal Kombat Vendetta and set it up inside Nightwolf, because like I didn't really set up his reflect, you know. It's like with this,
Yeah,
I'd have to add like every projectable to him if I was gonna do it.
Which is annoying as hell.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
Especially if
it's tedious, but it works.
Yeah,
It's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, because like
like what I was gonna tell him. Another problem with that thing is like the way I first did it. Like show him the offset thing. Like I don't know if he knows what. Ask the guy like type or something if you know what offset means.
oh yeah, like the
You know,
in offset check. Yeah, I actually explained this earlier. No, not the
I was
offset.
talking about
Or you talking about
in
the
DS?
text skill offset?
in the DS.
Yeah, pretty much. If you're gonna set that up, let me go to his reflect. You'd say, let's see, where is that move? Okay, here we go. Yeah, I called it a deflect in this. Okay, since I just made it set up to where it goes through. Pretty much, if you was gonna set that up, so like for example, where I have the defense frame here, you're gonna set that up as an attack frame instead.
Of course.
But at the same time, you're gonna want to put a doing frame somewhere in him.
So a fist can get to him.
So like he can actually be punched or kicked. But if it's a projectable, you want to easily set it up to where it's like this, or pretty
It's
much
kinda like
it just has
Super
power. Make sure there is a reaction in there, but it's set to nothing. That way, it's gonna actually work. And then once you do that, you just go in and set up the DS, and go just set your in offset, and then you could do like Bodosai said, and just set up a different variable for whatever detects whatever is detected.
Problem I always had with that one was that, how can I say? Example, if a punch hits him, even a regular punch, like it will still do the offset thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That is the problem with the in offset. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
when
it's
it
a
comes to
double-edged
that stuff.
sword.
I mean, that is the easiest way.
But like, I
Like,
think the best way to do that would actually be, instead of putting it directly on the character, just set it up as an object.
That would work.
Yeah, setting it up as an object will not interfere with any other punch. Because setting it up, directly on the character will affect actual kicks and punches. But it's the best way to do it is just set it up to where it's in a floating object that loops, or is turned off at the same time the animation's turned off. What you could do is just set it up to where you just copy the whole skill and just make the whole animation blank, and then just throw in the the attack frame for the offset, and just set it up as an object right at the beginning of the skill. That way it will last as long as the skill lasts.
I think he knows what I'm talking about, since I read the question myself. It said he with DS and system variable, but it'd be buggy sometimes.
Be buggy sometimes. Okay.
Right.
I'm wondering how the way he does it. I wonder how he's doing it.
Yeah. You can easily, set up, maybe even send us a file we could look at. We could easily see what you're doing wrong, or fix a problem. in real time.
Yeah, I know when the first time I ever tried to do something like that, I actually tried to do I would
I
actually
could have
make
just
the
easily not saved,
original
but
fireball turn around.
oh yeah.
Never worked right.
But so you know,
And then I
when
got
it comes to that, the problem is, you know, you would actually have to have, you know, a attack frame coming from the other character or the opponent.
right trailing object.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if you were just, you know, gonna bounce back the projectile and it's just gonna have, you know, the actual characters on attack frame, it's not gonna do nothing. It's gonna go right through 'em.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's pretty much the same gist of you know how you would set up I don't know if I ever explained this. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people would probably understand how to set up, you know, Captain America's shield top move where it will come back to him after a hit. I would say, you know, you just set up, you know, specific hit junctions and just, you know, have the shield actually in all the characters and it goes back.
Yeah. It comes out as an
Yeah,
object.
it comes out as an object, you know, with, you know, no damage or nothing. It's just like something like an in offset where it's like at the bottom, you know, below the screen or something like that. To where if it easily, you know, if he walks by it, he instantly picks it up. But like when it comes to that, you know,
I remember. Yeah.
when it comes,
You see me, all the years I have playing around with Fighter Maker, I always stay away from characters like that.
yeah,
Vega, never doing him in my life.
yeah,
Well,
Captain
'cause
America, I love the character, but
It's got
nah, I'm
two
not.
different transformations that you'd have to
yeah,
put in.
you would have to do that. That would be that character would probably exceed at least
Exactly.
50
Without the
minutes.
mask, like with the mask.
Either that,
You have
or
to
you'd
create
have
that
to
from-
transform. You'd have to put the mask and the claws as an object and transform them based on what he was doing.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Dude,
Which
that
would
thing is amazing. Because not only that, because example, he don't got his claw. All of a sudden he hits low. You know, like all of a sudden all the objects, I mean, all the attack frames gotta change because he don't got his claw,
Yeah,
Right.
and he hits
Exactly.
left.
yeah,
And then when the mask is off, all of a sudden, you know, like defense is down 30%. I don't know. I'm like, nah.
I would say, you know, when it comes to the Captain America shield thing, you know, you could also, you know, set up an animation in his standing or walk, to where, you know, if he were to
I
trigger the in offset, it would actually do the pickup animation from there. That way,
and you
it's
see,
actually a part
I
of the
think
standing or
yeah.
whatever like that. He can still be, you know, attacked as if
For
he's
some reason-
neutral.
you feel like Captain America. For some reason, I believe Capcom agrees with me. Because in Marvel's Capcom 3, they took all that out.
Oh yeah,
Shield just comes to you.
oh yeah.
They agree with me. This is too much work. One character. You could have finished 3 characters by the time you finished Captain America.
Yeah, for real.
Trust me.
Well, basically,
when
you
I
do
say that,
finish 3 characters by the time you finish Captain America.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why for all my life I have stayed away from characters like that. Even though I love Captain America, I would love to do him. But
Oh
without,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I would probably leave out the whole your shield can actually drop to the ground thing.
Oh.
Like you can still have his
Exactly.
throws,
That's what I would.
but I would make it to where it always
Yeah. Yeah.
Marvel Capcom 3, bro. Marvel Capcom 3. They agree with me all the time.
Yeah, I hadn't really played any games in a while. Only time I boot up my Xbox now is whenever I'm watching Netflix or something. Because I'm focusing most of my time towards this and among other things.
I don't even own any games for the Xbox anymore.
By the way, did he get the how to do it or?
I don't know. He never replied back in the chat.
It is helpful.
Well, and he's also the stream is about 6 seconds behind what we're watching. So, like we're seeing it live. They're seeing it 6 seconds behind. So
Yeah.
No wonder last time we were. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
last
That's
time
how-
wasn't all that great, but at
Yeah.
least this time we actually got it set up right. But like, yeah, I feel like anybody missed it, that can easily come on the channel and watch it themselves. Cause like right now the stream is actually being recorded without me having to click a record button. That's what's nice. I mean, you could actually go back and watch last week's show of the Uber failure it was. It's just us trying to get the audio working.
It was fun.
Oh yeah, that was pretty funny.
Looks like he got it. Had to put the attack frame as an object.
Yeah, that's the best way to do anything, is setting up as something as an object.
In a way, it's just like super armor.
Yeah. In a way, it's just like the way super armor is set up. It's just like you're setting up a different condition to end it with.
Exactly.
Did notice something a few days ago, or I think it was last night or something like that. How I'm gonna have to change up the air combo. Or not the air combo, but the juggle launcher, to where at a certain point in time it's not landing. So I'm gonna have to take this 40 and make it individual of 10, and then throw in another DS there for landing, because like as of right now this is what it's doing. But
does it work in the game?
Oh yeah, it actually works in the game. You just if you're do a late jump in, or you get hit closer to the ground, you won't land. Yeah, you won't land at all on the ground and hit the ground. Makes it seem like it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, just a bit.
It's like, oh, I countered your jump. It's like, no, you're in a combo now. Now I'm having to do the same thing I was doing. I'm just going off on other things, since we're getting the questions asked. Apparently, I never set this up inside him. He always would get hit. So let's pretty much make this the strike frame, and we'll bring it over. We'll go ahead and set up our SG here. That way we'll skip over that. This, let's see. Looks like we got a trailing doing frame somewhere. Okay, let's see. Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, I just went to the fridge to get a couple of beers that I had there.
Yeah.
This is the flattest beer I ever tasted in my life.
Oh wow.
Dude, I hate Coors Light just because of that. Once you take it out the fridge and try to put it back in there, it's like, no, just throw it away, man.
Whatever I'm drinking Coors Light, it's all gone. Coors Light's my beer choice.
You have to drink it that same night. Exactly. But you gotta drink it. If you buy 10, you gotta drink them 10 that same day.
Yeah.
Don't think you can put it in the fridge and it's gonna be okay.
Yeah. You can't drink a beer and then if it's not opened, or if it's already open, just put it in the fridge and drink it the next day, because it's not gonna be all that great.
That's why I drink
No. These ones. He said so. Soda gets fat too.
Not that fast, it doesn't.
Dude, but not for real. These beers I bought them, I think, was 2 days ago. And yeah, we had out here. A couple of them were stay there, and I put them in the fridge. And now it's Friday. I had to drink something.
Yeah.
And it's flat as hell. I'm about to throw this away. Oh, man. What you showing people?
I'm just going in doing tedious work right now.
Setting up the wall hit combo junction.
Yeah, what I'm pretty much doing is setting it up so that if they're in the sent back WK during a super, they'll actually get hit.
Dude, making the Hicks Johnson like the most boring part of making a car.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree.
It's the biggest plus point for templates.
Oh yes, that's
Yeah.
yes. This is the main
Yeah.
reason why I template off characters if I'm starting to work on a game. But then eventually, you'll get to a point to where you're like,
You gotta add 'em.
you'll get to a point to where you're just pretty much like, oh crap, I need to fix all this,
Yep.
and then you got to go through and fix it on everybody. But like I have come accustomed to doing this a lot. Like I can, if I'm sitting here doing it myself, I'll sit here and just like go in and hit my Z key and just go on through the characters like that, and just easily be able to do it. Well, looks like Naruto shall be right back. So I'm seeing a problem here already. I'm seeing like a double right here. This shouldn't be there too. I shouldn't be seeing that. Oh well. I guess it's just something, for the animation. Okay, yeah. As long as it doesn't pop up, when the variable's not set, that's all I'm worried about. Because, like, if that's not set, I can easily, take, say, Sub-Zero, and then select character that's probably not set up, like Sonya. And I can easily take them to the corner and constantly, over and over again, just hit them on the wall. It's actually set up on that. Because like before adding in the hit wall fix for that, you would like slide all the way back here.
Oh yeah, just
It's
bad.
like,
Crazy.
so that's the one thing I'm working on too. Is I'm getting a lot of the hit junctions that do have that pushback, and I'm fixing those. It's like, oh wow, I'm like in the corner and I hit somebody. Wow, why am I already mid-screen?
Yeah.
It's just like horrible. It's like my attack is like all the way over there, or my opponent's all the way over there. Why am I here?
Yeah.
Pretty much why I also set up, the standard hits, or the SG hits in the corner to, not cause a whole lot of pushback. Alright, since we got that set up, and since we're on stream, I really hadn't like set it up to where the hits aren't there. I'm gonna skip that. I don't want to ruin anything. I can easily just go to Sonya here. It'd be funny to like want to go back, check the stream themselves. Like, oh, he skipped Sonya. He's like at Sonya. It's like, oh, I gotta go back and see if he like clicked on the hidden. Nope, didn't do it.
How do you get FM to realize you're holding and releasing a button like the punch button?
Okay, that's a good question. I actually can show you this right now. I actually set this up with Blanca. I actually set this up in Favorite Fighters 2.5 with
Rugel's thing?
yeah, with Rugel's Kaiser Wave. I don't know if y'all played a lot of Street Fighter, you should know that in Blanca, when he
You gotta
does
hold the
that,
Yeah.
I can sit there and hold that. The best way, when you are doing that. See if I can get this super off. Shit.
Raging.
Let me get in the corner here.
I remember trying to do the ranges going back in the day. That was like not a problem.
Yeah, that was
Well,
like a major problem. I remember back when people was like, oh, I want to make Mega Man have a charge buster and stuff like that.
Mega Man, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
That was actually pulled
Mag-
off. I
Mag
actually
Launcher's-
pulled it off and sent Mag Launcher the coding back then, and he added it into
Yeah.
Favorite Fighters.
But
His
still,
Mega Man was.
people gotta stay away from characters like that.
But This does
You just
require a
download
lot
the
of.
program if you want to do Mega Man. Like, whoa.
Oh yeah, this does require a lot of code to get this working right. But let's say it's pretty much all about the cancel condition and the way you got the way you have your commands set up, and it's also variable control to where after the start of the move, this variable is set to 1, and after that, you're like pretty much saying, okay, if it's 1, I want to be to go to the holding skill, and I'm just gonna sit there and hold it, and then you got to go in and set up your command to where you have the original attack, and then you have hold and release, and you can see that the command time is set up differently.
But that will only work.
This is pretty much the same way you would do, like say if you're gonna set up a charge up skill, you're just taking that charge up skill and just adding more to it.
I've used a loop and command inputs in the skill, like a detect command input.
Yeah.
In the skill for running, like Capcom versus SNK2 style running.
Yeah.
Where I could just have them run across the screen and hold it until I let go of the button, and then they would instantly stop.
Yeah. So like the only thing is with the command input function, only the directions will enable you to hold. You can't actually hold buttons.
Right.
That's why you're having to use the command tab to set up a hold. So pretty much, the way you'd have this set up is just, having a variable trigger, getting it set up. Then once you have that done, you set up your cancel condition to where, your hold is set to 1, and then your release is set to 2. That way, once you release, it's going to cancel directly into it.
Exactly.
I see that working better.
Okay.
Is he actually making rock?
He actually might be.
Yeah, he actually might be. Yeah. Jen's actually working on a KOF game right now.
Well, I'm not in the chat, but ask him if he could hear me. Just tell me, are you making rock?
Well, I know in the history that Rock is actually one of Prue's favorite characters, and he has said yes, he is making Rock.
Okay. Gonna have a very hard time. Especially his second super, the one where you have to press like punch, like kick, medium punch,
Yeah. I never been able to ever pull that off. It's the same with Geese also.
It's a fit for the command. What Charles just said.
Yeah, pretty much. If he really does want like set up the hold and release. I actually set that up a couple of times in other characters too. Like I made a Kyo at one point in time, and he could charge up a super that way. I actually think I did it on both of the supers I made for him. This was gonna.
He's gonna have like. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ask him if he did the counter moves already. And which rock is he doing? The Mark of the Wolf or CBS2?
Probably CBS2.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? No, he might be using Mark of the Wolves, because I remember helping him with something the other day where the colors weren't showing up right in Fighter Maker.
Ah, okay.
Oh. Because there's a way. You see the counter move? I don't want to use that word. Hold on. I was gonna say the vision. The counter move is very hard to do.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's actually easy, but go to an attack frame. Any attack frame.
Attack frame.
Ta-da!
You said the one that says like if you he has how can I say a counter move that only hits in the air, right? Like you gotta come from the air. So he has to put I think it's wild guard or no detection.
Yeah. I can't remember which one is which, but I know that was like a mistranslation that we did to where one of
Yeah.
those was like actually
Like,
saying to only make this attack hit in the air or only make this attack hit on the ground.
It may be no detection. It might. I'm thinking that might mean no ground detection.
Yeah,
exactly. That means no ground detection, meaning that you can only hit, like, I can only hit you if you come from the air.
yeah,
And then the other one would be the problem I had with the contest with the low one. You know, like there's a mid, and example, like if you come with an overhead, it will hit you. But then there's the one that hits low. You get it?
yeah.
Like if I sweep you,
Hmm.
even if how can I say this? Even if I hit you with a regular move that is like, I don't know, like standing medium or something,
Yeah.
it will still counter low. Like you can just throw the low, the mid, anything from the ground. You come with the low and mid and nothing. That was one of the things I had a problem with. I remember.
Yeah, I actually remember when we had the discussion about making, OTGs in Fighter Maker Second too. I actually figured out how to do that not too long ago. Like I don't really have it, decided to do that in this. I was gonna try it, but then I realized it's like I'm gonna be like having a game that's like totally unbalanced if I did that. Because like at one point in time, you could do a lot of OTGs with some of the supers.
Oh, what I used to do like for the OTGs was make like you see when they land on the floor.
Yeah.
Like for I would put FD or whatever defense rank under him, like way low, like you did earlier.
Yeah.
With the home. That's what I would do, and the OTG moves will be like down there too.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah, I actually believe I have Gauss sweep set up pretty much like an OTG because it like will hit them twice. Because I was pretty much going with a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 style with that. Because like it would.
For the counter moves, he used system variables to detect which moves can be countered by Rock's counter move.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's another good way you can do it too.
He's working too hard.
He's working too hard.
You know how, dude, it's like, let's say Ryu has 6 normal, 7 normal. He has 8 normal.
Yeah.
2 special normals, whatever. Then he gotta do, cause then you gotta put a variable for all of them.
You could just use one variable and
that is true. Exactly.
put a different value for every move.
But that's working too hard. That means you have to put. Not me. That's just me saying that you have to put a variable in every goddamn skill.
Oh yeah.
That's
well, I mean,
too hard.
it's pretty much the
That's
same
hard.
way I did with this game, setting up the CPU. I actually, set up a CPU to where it will detect what they're doing, to where CPU condition detect, and it will code down here to this skill right here, and you'll see all these variables in here. Some of these, are actually inside moves, like say for example, I believe this one right here is when Scorpion throws a spear or any projectile. Pretty much, if say for example, if Ryu were to throw a Hadouken at Sub-Zero AI, Sub-Zero's first reaction is going to be to slide, and so he'll slide under the Hadouken. That way he can get in. That way you can't get zoned out as easily.
I remember I had a thing back then. Like I don't know if it was a bad.
I tried so hard to stay away from system variables.
Like
You're gonna need them no matter what.
no, I mean of course you're gonna need it for a couple of things, but it's like I always try to do something like. Let me see if I could do it regularly, like stuff like that, and then the last alternative I use a system variable because I believe like
Yeah.
they only give you 12, and you're gonna need them 12.
See, what I've come to the conclusion of thinking about was like when I started working on this game, I was getting my variables were starting to get lower and lower, as I was going on. Then I figured out that if I want to use more variables, I'm gonna have to set up a custom reset. good example is here when I was using the air combo system. System variable L detects what game mode you're in. That way, the point system will show or not show. Uh, and so I was using system variable L also for when you're popped up into the air and get an air combo done to you. So pretty much, I was like, with this reset, I pretty much was like, okay, negative 22. If it's that, it used to be 2. And like if it was negative
Okay.
21, it used to be 1, and so on. That's pretty much what you have to do if you're wanting to be able to use more variables. You had to set up
You
custom
know how to do
resets.
like arrays, right?
A what?
Arrays, I think it's called. Variable arrays.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Or like I used to do that. Like I use one system variable, just like I use like a regular character variable,
yeah,
and like if it's the same as this, then change that. But I used to use a lot of character variables instead of
yeah,
system variables.
yeah. So like with
Like I always
this,
had one.
yeah, with this new system right here that I'm about to show, the way I got the combo system set up now is any close hit becomes a far hit. So when they're in the air, and so pretty much the way I set this up was like saying like, okay, if they're above 915, because default 920 is a character on the ground, uh and so I'd set it up to where if they're below, they're on the ground. If they're above, stuff like that. uh then I figured out how to do a variable range, to where I'm ranging from a specific point to another point, to where say like system variable G is above 3, stating it's at like say 5 or 7 or 4 or 6 and stuff like that, to where if it's there, I would go to this variable, and then like if it's below, you would want to go to the reset. uh then like
Yeah.
you'd say if it's not, it'd skip over it and then it'll go to all these. So pretty much when I figured that out, I was just like, wow, I need to start using that a lot more often. Because like before I started working on Fighter Maker, I was messing with Game Shark. Game Shark has actual detect code too. You'd set up like a D0, and it's just like if this is this, do this pretty much. Setting up a if else inside your own code. That's pretty much what variables help you do in Fighter Maker second also. Uh,
Right, exactly.
so pretty much you can say for example a double variable trigger. That's pretty much what I just made, and
Okay.
that was something
By the
I
way,
was really wanting to figure out, and I figured it out just here recently.
is there any way I can control like this? Not that I want to. It's like with TeamViewer, can I? It's like remote assistant. I think it's called. Like I
Yeah,
control
yeah.
your
So
computer.
like the way we got it set up tonight is we got it in a meeting. That way, I'm only presenting my screen. I could actually, there's actually settings I got right here that says allow and deny remote control.
Okay. There we go. Cause I want to control something sometimes. Let me.
Yeah, see, I actually seen a coaster pop up on your side too. So it's like a blue coaster, but pretty much, uh, you got Sonya set up here, and go in Chun Li, and then I'd go on and so forth. But I think I'm gonna go off and do some test play for a set.
Why won't you like I don't know like start a character from scratch and like show them how
Oh
how,
yeah,
how
that's an actual good idea too. I might actually
That's that's something I'm actually thinking about possibly doing during a week, sometime like one day a week.
yeah,
Do basic live stuff based on what people are asking,
yeah.
like
like
starting a
oh
character,
okay.
that kind of stuff. I haven't gotten Wirecast installed yet.
Yeah,
Like,
what I'm probably
well,
gonna
we
end
could.
up doing here pretty soon to the website is I'll probably make a new block, probably on the right side. You know, having whether or not the live stream is live or not. That
Oh,
way,
yeah, there you
people
go.
can easily just click on that and they'll go directly to the stream, and it'll say it's live or if it's not. That way, if
No, like
somebody
we
were
could
to
add
come to the
like
website, they'd be like, "Oh crap, the stream's on," and they'd go to the stream.
It'd be really cool if we could just integrate the stream.
Oh yeah,
Right
just
there on the
integrate the
front
stream
page.
to the actual website, and it comes on whenever we're on.
Exactly.
like I was gonna say like why don't you ask in the forum like next week or something like if you want us to do a character and then we get started. It's not gonna take one stream to complete the character. I know that.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no,
It's
hey,
not gonna take in one
it takes
stream will be
days and
completed.
weeks, depending on which one.
Oh yeah, depending on which one, cause like that
If
when
somebody,
it comes to me making a character in Fighter Maker Second or a game, in fact, I'm like, okay, I gotta see what characters I'm gonna have in this game. Okay, now I gotta go play
Like, you
these
start off with
games.
the character first?
I gotta go play these games, and I gotta see what reaction does what, and I gotta like try to mimic, the actual hit junction.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
we do,
well, and
right?
we'll have
Sorry.
to do a poll basically to find out what character it is, so that we can get all the sprites ripped before the stream.
Yeah, before the
Because-
stream, and then when we
Wow.
go live, we're just in a blank canvas,
Yeah.
blank KGT file,
Yeah.
nothing in it. Here we go.
So first off, we gotta end up doing the hate junction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if we do Ryu, okay, we're gonna be like Shoryuken, Hadouken, hold that.
I mean,
A couple of super T in there, but by the way,
when you put the put in the bottom, and Proof said no Mega Man,
no Captain America,
No.
no big, no.
Yeah, yeah. No, well, we'll put like certain characters
And
as
yeah.
the choices that were
Easy.
Yeah.
exactly
Easy cat.
exactly. No Gambit.
We're old and we're lazy. Tell 'em. We said that. This ain't 10 years ago when we first started.
I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, no reuse.